This is me. Growing up, I was a skinny, fun-loving, competitive, joy-filled kid. My earliest memory of muscle building comes from an elementary school gym class. For warm-up, the gym teacher had us kids run laps around the gym, followed by some various bodyweight exercises, including push-ups. At the time, I thought my push-ups were pretty okay, but hindsight, probably not. Then one day, everything changed. It was the summer of 2020, just a few months into lockdown. I was on my way back from a small trip where I had stayed with a friend in another province for a couple days. Now, given that the trip back was about 6 hours long, I had a few hours to myself. And so I decided to take this time to hit up some old pals, see how they were doing. One of my friends had told me that he had started getting into working out, and he showed me this video that he was following along with. Now, at this point, it had been a few years since those knee push-up days. My push-ups had improved a lot by this point, and I had maybe been able to do around 15 or 20. But alas, I told him that I would get into working out and join him in his journey. Fast forward 4 or 5 months, and I hit him up again. He told me that he was following a new program, Igor Voitenko's From 0 to 100. It's a simple program where you just follow along with exactly what's outlined. You rest on a rest day and work out on a workout day. And so with this program armed, it was time. Immediately, I was hooked. I had never felt so much soreness in my life. But even though I was in so much pain, it felt awesome to feel like muscle was being built. And so I followed this program every day and even took my first few progress pics. By the end of this challenge, a couple family members had got wind of what I was doing, and so a couple of them decided to join me. So for the following few months, whenever we had time, myself and my family members would spend a couple minutes and hit a workout. It was honestly a pretty great experience to suffer through something like that with my family. During this process, my diet was pretty mediocre. I wasn't tracking any calories or any protein, and I wasn't taking anything too seriously. But after a few months, I was up 10 pounds and not feeling nearly as dead after the workouts. I even finally managed to get through a few of them without additional rest. Only up from here, right? Come summertime, I was feeling great. Having worked out consistently for 4 or 5 months at this point, I was ready for another challenge. Somewhere in March, while I was scrolling YouTube, I had come across a video showcasing some pretty sweet calisthenic skills. Immediately, I started working towards these basic skills. And hey, I even got a few. I had managed to learn the tuck planche and L-sit pretty quick, and I was at my peak weight. Surely I wouldn't just stop. So, school's back on again. Not quite sure how, but remember how I said I had gained 10 pounds? Well, so I'll be honest, it's a bit hazy what happened exactly during this 2-month period, but I had a bit of a plateau. My weight was constantly fluctuating in this 110 to 120 pound range. I didn't progress. I was not optimal. But hey, this is a good time to point out that there's going to be many ups and downs in your fitness journey and in life in general. There's a good chance that you're going to have stretches where you're not consistent or you're not eating right. That's not what matters. What matters is what comes after. And what came after was glorious. Around mid to late July 2021, one of my friends who, I'm not going to sugarcoat, was pretty skinny fat and weak, decided to start hitting the gym. At this point in our journey, I had already been into calisthenics for quite a while now, and so in my mind, I was like,
why would I need the gym when I can just train at home?
Fast forward a year, on July 7th, 2022, I decided, hey, what the heck? Let's go hit one workout with him. For fun. And so we went, and he showed me through his program. The funniest part to me was that even though he had been going to the gym for a little bit over a year now, and I had been doing my at-home plateau stuff, we were about the same strength, which I found pretty neat. And so while we were working out together, we were both progressing at a good rate, progressing the same. I quickly fell in love with the gym and decided to start going with him consistently. Over the next 8 months, we made a ton of progress. It was mostly him keeping track of all of our reps and sets, and we still progressed together for the very most part. Still, I was not tracking my diet or even the workouts. Yet progress was still very smooth, and I'd managed to put on 15 more pounds. This was truly such a great time in the journey. The noob gains were incredible, and we were adding a lot of weight to all of our exercise. 2022 was the year of my high school graduation, and that meant that my friend and I would no longer be gym bros. As I mentioned earlier, my friend was the one tracking all of our reps and sets, and so I hadn't really had an experience here. Fortunately, with his help, I was able to build my own plan and created a spreadsheet to keep track of my workouts. In university, I had a pretty strange schedule starting out, and so most of my workouts were in the morning. Because of this, I wasn't able to find a workout partner to go with me consistently. And for the first time in my life, I pretty much just went solo. I started out training with a 3-set method, but quickly swapped over to a 2-set method, training to failure every time. Every week I tracked, and every week I progressed. It was almost unbelievable to me how much I was progressing, because, reminder, up until this point, I hadn't been the one keeping track, so I hadn't been able to see the numbers actually increasing. I even started loosely tracking my calories and protein intake. At the time, I was aiming for about 3,000 calories and 150 grams of protein. This target allowed me to gain about 1 pound every week, which was a pretty good rate at the time. Fast forward a few ups and downs later, and I had managed to gain 10 pounds and got considerably stronger. Today is December 24, 2024, and a lot has changed since Chapter 4. I recently hopped on creatine and now weigh about 145 pounds. The past 4 months, I've been aiming for around 2,800 calories just to minimize fat gain and all. But unfortunately, I feel like I haven't really been hitting this mark because, well, I haven't been putting on the weight. Every few months, it seems that I fall off. I lose that joy to work out. This is reality. Everyone plateaus, and everyone takes breaks. What matters is that you remember the reasons you are here in the first place, putting your body on the line and tearing each individual muscle fiber. In the future, I would love to be able to achieve all these crazy calisthenic skills I once dreamed of many years ago. It's important to remember the lifestyle, envisioning yourself as old as can be, still living an active lifestyle. Because, hey, isn't that the goal? And with that, the story lives on. If you enjoyed this video, why not go ahead, hit the like button, maybe even subscribe while you're at it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.